Here we go. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Claudia Pimentel. I'm known as Claudia 1 Million, and I want to welcome everyone to the Traders Inner Circle here at Akashex. And guys, congratulations. Like, you guys made it. You're actually taking the time to be here on this call. And guess what? Get your pads and notebook, pencils, papers, whatever you need, your pen, anything you need to write some notes, because we have some educators on this platform, right, that they are going to be on this session, and we're going to really get into it, and you guys are going to be getting a lot of information here. So just a little bit of my background. I've been in the industry going on 4 years now. I specialize in crypto. Okay, I love trading. I joined the platform knowing that there is more than anything in this world is to what? Be able for your make income for time and freedom, right? So you can spend more time with your family. And that's what it was for me. That was my why, was to be able to spend more time and have the freedom with my family. So this is like a really big skill set that you guys are embarking on learning. And this session right here is so we can go ahead and get to know our educators that are on the platform, and you guys can really ask questions and get to know each one of them. All right, so I'm going to bring them up to the platform. I'm going to start with Mr. Champs. I'm going to just have him introduce himself to you guys. That way you know who he is on this platform. Champs, are you there? Can you hear me?
I am here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, perfect. What's going on, everybody? My name is Brian. Everyone calls me Champs. I've been knowing about trading almost 10 years now. I did not take trading seriously until 2020 when the pandemic happened and I was stuck in my house, not allowed to do anything. And if you live in New York and you know anything about New York, there's not a lot of spaces and houses. So I learned how to trade, got into trading, got really good at it, then went to Miami, started hanging out with my great friend Peter and Ness and Stopwatch Jones, I should say, and Ness, and it's been history since then. I just trade, and I'm a real estate broker by trade. Is what I love to do as a passion, and I trade because it's fun.
All right, nice. Thanks for sharing. Look at that, guys. So you see, not only does he trade, right? So he's an educator helping you guys learn information. He's also in real estate. We have a lot in common, sir. So
Yes.
Absolutely facts. And that's what it really comes down to. When you start realizing the circle, right, that you guys are around, right, near the fire, you stay near the fire, that's when you guys are going to continue to get valuable information, right? And you're going to be able to catapult yourself into a different level, right? Because it's all about the conversations you have with those around you, right? Okay, so let me see some fire emojis on this chat saying that you guys understand. Mr. Champs here, right? Brian?
Just Champs, no mister.
Okay, Champs. We're going with Champs. All right, let me see some fire emojis. All right, great. Now, the next educator I'm going to bring up is Miss Asia Evans. If you haven't been on the call previously, she has been on here, but I'm going to give her a chance to introduce herself to anyone that has not yet to see her. And she is one of our legendary binary traders here on the platform. I believe she's the only female binary educator on the platform at that. So give it up to Asia. Asia, go ahead.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Asia, but you can call me Z. Like Claudia said, I am the only female binary trader here in Akash. I've been trading for well over going on 3 years now, and they say that's when the fun really starts. And I can believe it. It's been a good time. I not only trade, but I too, work in real estate as well. And then it's kind of interesting to see how we're all full circle real estate and trading. And then as well, I run a podcast. So, happy to be here, happy to talk. I'm not going to take too much time on the introduction. You guys will get to know me in other ways when you hop in on a session or just in general, because there will be more of these to come.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And once again, guys, listen to that. You see? Common denominators, right? So educator, start student, start learning, start making money, start sharing, educating, now in real estate. Because what you're going to do with the money you're making, you got to invest it. You see, success leaves clues. So I hope you guys have your pens, pencils, notebooks, and start taking notes. All right, because that's going to be the difference between the person who doesn't take notes and put it into action and the person that does take notes and put into action. And I'm going to give it up to all of you right now. Let me see some hand claps in the chat for yourself, for actually showing up, for actually coming on this call and showing up, because there's a lot of people out there that are not on this call. So guess what? They're going to miss out on all the information that we're giving, all the gems you guys are going to be getting and receiving from the educators, right? Because you are waiting to try continue to elevate yourself, right? So you need to make sure that you're surrounding yourself around the information and getting all the information in. So perfect. And then we have Mr. Stopwatch Jones. He is also a binary educator on the platform, one of the best as well. All right. And I'm going to let him introduce himself to you guys, just in case you haven't been on the previous session and you have not been able to meet Mr. Stopwatch Jones.
What's up, everybody? It's this headset takes away from it, just makes me feel crazy, but I don't have speakers. So hope everybody's doing well. I'm your boy Stopwatch. Some of you guys probably already heard of me, some of you guys probably haven't. It's perfectly fine. A little bit about myself. I also come from a real estate background, right? But I haven't done real estate in a long time. I focus strictly on trading. I discovered trading give or take like 10 plus years ago, but I also didn't take it. I thought it was more like gambling, if I'm being completely honest. So I took it as gambling for a long time. I realized the potential around the same time as Champs, and it's been murder she wrote for me since then. It's been a blessing. I love it. I teach it. I live it. I breathe it. And yeah, I'm here for it.
Perfect. Okay, so let's give it up for Mr. Stopwatch Jones. He's over. Okay, so you guys, let's see. Champs, you're in Miami, right? I just came back from there. Stopwatch, you're over in Orlando, which I'm in Orlando right now. All right, we got Miss Asia. Huh?
I'm in New York.
You're from New York? Okay, yeah, so am I.
I'm in New York.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm in New York. I live in New York.
Oh, you're in New York. Okay. Oh, no, I'm from New York. I don't live in New York now.
I'm from Georgia, but I live in New York.
Okay, perfect. And Asia, she's over in Atlanta, if I'm correct, right? Asia?
I am actually, oh, sorry, I didn't even know how my thing went down. I'm actually by way of New Jersey right now, but I did live in Atlanta. So shout out to the A. You got anybody from Atlanta? You know, forever I love it.
Perfect. See, guys, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, right? If you have internet, you got a phone, computer, and just some internet service, you are able to travel the world, continue to make a living, do your trades, everything, right, from your computer or your cell phone. So that is one of the advantages that the multiple advantages it is to learn this skill set. So we're just going to go ahead and dive into some questions. That way we can see where their mindset is at, and this could help you guys, the audience, right, in your journey. So I have an interesting topic, and I want to see, what do you guys think about this for the audience? Let me see some fire emojis in there if all of you are on social media, right? Who's on social media out there? Type some fire emojis. If you are on social media, you know, all the social media platforms, there's plenty of them to go out there, right? Right. We have some of the most popular ones. I mean, there's tons of social media out there. And do you know, one of the questions for me is the main topic, right? How does social media affect trading choices and strategies, right? That's going to be the topic for today, and how to manage the associated hazards, right? The hazards and prospects, because with everything, there's a hazard, right? It's not all roses, guys. Remember, there's thorns on those roses, and if you're not careful, you're going to prick your finger. All right, so we got to be very careful, especially with social media. All right, so I'm going to just ask the first question, And we could just start, I'll start with Chance today. All right, and what is your opinion in social media, how it affects the trading choices? Like, in what ways do you feel that social media influence trading decisions and impact the financial markets?
All right. So this is easy for me to answer, but I want to kind of give some context. I've been a real estate broker for 10 years, but I took a break for the last 18 months. And I went to be a stockbroker. So working on Wall Street and really understanding and seeing, from a financial standpoint, how much influence social media actually plays is kind of insane, because you think of like Reddit and Wall Street bets and how they played a huge impact in like the meme stocks with like GameStop and AMC and stuff like that. It's a very ugly world, because somewhere along the way between the pandemic and today, people really thought that you could just invest and make millions of dollars right away, right? We saw it with stocks, we saw it with crypto coins, we saw it with just about everything except for indices, honestly, right? Like if you thought you could put $500 into an account and you make $5 million tomorrow, everybody and their mother was running and doing it because of GameStop and because what we were seeing with Shiba and Dogecoin and stuff like that. I think social media is horrible personally. I only use it for business. My entire private life stays off the internet. I don't have any reason to share anything with anyone to a public space. So for me, it's interesting because it plays a huge effect, but I think if you're smart enough to realize that nothing comes easy, you wouldn't be so easily influenced by it. That's my answer.
Thank you for sharing. And I'll tell you, I agree with you with that. Being in the crypto space, we see it all, right? We see it all. We see all the FUD, all the hype of, tokens, memes, coins, everything, right? All in social media. And a lot of things that people don't realize and tend to forget is that social media isn't necessarily the truth, right? Social media is not necessarily the truth. Remember, it's just what people decide to put on there. So, it could be the truth in their mind, but maybe not the reality in the space itself. Okay. All right. So Asia, you're next. What do you think about the social media, how it influences on trading, right? Making decisions, and same question, and how it impacts the financial markets. What's your take?
So it's kind of interesting, right? My take on it is that you have to be weary of what you consume. You have to just I'm gonna come at it from an awareness standpoint. When it comes to social media influence, you gotta be wary of what you consume, right? Case in point, I remember studying how the markets move with CPI all last year, right? If everybody know about news, it creates volatility in the market, especially with like indices or just in general, it creates volatility. So to someone who doesn't understand that, who doesn't understand it from a trading perspective, is like news, like what they say matter. It's not what they say, like to a certain extent, right? It's just about understanding the volatility and studying the market, because trading is a pattern. I think once a person who really dives into trading understands like how their specific pair, their specific indice moves, social media will be like a less of an impact to them, right? What gets people into trading in general is social media, because they see somebody's big 19K day, they see a whole bunch of $400 like trades, right? But they don't understand all the reds that happened before it. They don't even understand like what type of trader that is. That might be a volume trader who likes to snipe like 2-3 points and throw in a big lot size. You see what I'm saying? Like, and they know they can catch 3 points, and that's what somebody does. Or you can have somebody who throw in like a standard, just something real chill and regular, and swing it and likes to catch 100. Like, you know what I mean? So I think social media impacts it in a way that can fake you out of of understanding true value of making money, if you do not create the awareness of yourself. Because me personally, my best trading moment, I was never on social media with it. So
Thank you for sharing. And I'll tell you, Z, you're absolutely correct. You know, like I said, social media, you have to be careful what it is that you're consuming, what you're putting in your vision, right? And understanding that it's social media. There's always, you know, there's always extra information that you're not getting. Even if you're watching that 1 minute reel, right? It's not the complete story. It's just a snips of the story of how it happened, right? So you might see someone's wins, but that could have been 10 losses prior. 10 losses prior, lessons prior, a whole month in the red, and then they had that one big trade, boom, and all of a sudden, you know, they're green, they're blue day, right? And they're in profit. So those are things that you have to really consider, especially in social media. Like I said, it's social media, right? It's not quite really what is the truth. You know, it can be true, but it's just a snip of the entire story. So you need to be very careful, right? Because you don't know how long someone's been trying and going, and how many losses and how they got there and everything. And then boom, they'll post that story. But it is for you to look at and say, okay, it is possible. It is possible. As long as you're going to classes, right? You're showing up, then it is possible. So let's go, Mr. Stopwatch Jones. Mr. Stopwatch, what is your take on how, you know, social media influence, how it trading on the trading decisions and the impact in the financial markets?
I think social media is I have a different, not different, just a slightly different view on social media than I guess everybody else here. I use it a lot. I'm super expressive on it. I speak my mind. I just assume I have a big ego, and I assume people want to hear me speak, right? That's just the reality of it all. But I come from, I guess for me, it comes from understanding what's possible and what isn't, right? So because I am somebody that's hands-on and I actually do this, I know what the proper expectations are to be a trader, or like how I should structure my approach and things of that nature. I remember when I first got started, the expectation wasn't there because all I saw was people flexing on the internet. And it's just like you said, it's true. You know, some of the people that are flexing on the internet, they're not telling you the whole picture, right? And I get that 100%. I use all of that my best advice, I guess, with using social media is don't let it dictate whether or not you're having success, right? Like you're gonna see people out there that are gonna be killing it. They say they're killing it, right? But does that mean that because you're not having the same amount of success as them, that you're not killing it? Everybody starts. It just depends on where you start and where you at, right? Like if you start, let's say you start with $200 and you grow that $200 to 2,000, is that not success? Is that not progress, right? So that's kind of how I look at social media. I share a lot of my results on social media, but I do it from a standpoint of I want people to see what's possible. But I also do share losses, right? Like I share losses because again, when I first got started, I remember people just sharing wins, no losses. And so it's a lot. Like it is a lot of behind the scenes work. Especially like I focus on binary, so I'm a swing Forex trader, but my binary trades aren't long. Therefore, for me, once I get to certain levels, it gets stressing. So just knowing where I'm at and not trying to compete with like somebody that had already accomplished what I want. I just run my own lane. I'm in my own lane. Social media is just a lane where I could show everybody my lane and invite y'all in or keep y'all out or whatever, but it's a little different. I don't let it dictate whether or not I'm trading more, trading less, or whether I had a great month or a bad month. For me, it's based on my life. And then social media is just a place where I can show that off to the world. That's just how I look at it.
Okay, that's a different take on it. So that's great. Thank you for sharing. Like, you know, guys, it's very important, especially what you're going to put out there, because it's not only what you're consuming, but it's also what you're putting out there, right? What people are going to see from you. Because all of a sudden, if you start posting certain things, then that expectation from others starts to be directed towards you, right? Because they're seeing these things, they're seeing you post certain things, and all of a sudden there's an expectation, right? So we have to be very careful what we're consuming and also what we're posting out there. So let's keep going. So let's see here. Next question would be, how can traders identify and navigate the risks associated with social media use in trading? And I'll start with you, Z.
I'm laughing because stopwatch over there almost jumped out his chair. I'll let him talk first. I think he's ready and geared up to answer it.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what, what happened.
He felt it in his heart, you know.
I felt like I was gonna fall real quick, so I had to like.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But no, like, how can you? Okay, so, how can traders identify and navigate risk? Okay, so for me, right, how I utilize social media when I'm like watching trading videos with like social media, it's like I look at more of it. Okay, if you know what you're doing in trading, right, YouTube can be helpful. If you don't know what you're doing, YouTube is not helpful, right? Because I'm gonna tell you guys something, right? If you're watching somebody in YouTube and they go like, oh, I didn't made, in binary especially, right? They use a lot of clickbait. They'll be like, I didn't took $20 and then turned it into 1,000, right? You watch the whole length video, they don't tell you the settings, right? They don't tell you what they did this morning. They don't tell you if they practiced or anything like that, right? Case in point, you guys can watch Stopwatch Jones on social media, right? He'll show you, he'll tell you what he's done. Everybody knows him as the Compound King. Drop a 2 in the chat if you've been on his call, right? He is the Compound King. But at the same time, right, you can go in an academy and learn what he did. And on a call, he'll give you that instruction, right? So it has to be a way that if you are a trader, you have to identify what is true value and what is clickbait. Because a lot of things in this world are clickbaits, things for you to click, things for you to see, but do they give you, right, what makes even a true trader like what makes a true educator? Because there's a lot of traders, but what makes an educator is making yourself duplicatable and allowing for whatever you do to be something that somebody else can follow, right? So in the use of social media, right, you have to understand, does it make sense? Because it won't make dollars if it doesn't make sense. And then, is there true value in it?
Perfect. Thank you, Z. And yeah, it's all right. All about consumption, what you're seeing, right? Getting that true value. And, I'll share an experience that I had with YouTube Academy. It didn't work out very well. Guys, I thought I was it. Like when I first started, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna options trade, and I followed my brother's footsteps because I saw him winning all the time. Little did I know, I didn't know nothing. And I went and I put myself through YouTube Academy. That was not a good thing, guys. Just don't, because they don't ever give you all of the information, right? So you're trying to mark everything up so it looks the same. And guess what? They leave things out. It's for a reason, because it's free information on YouTube. You got to click and keep following, and then you got to pay the thousands of dollars to join into their class and so forth. And then you're not even guaranteed you're going to learn anything. So yes, YouTube Academy is a big no for me. Step away from YouTube Academy. You got a Koshex here. Like, guys, everything's included. Like, we got scanners, we have it all, state of the art, and wait until you see what's really coming really soon. Talk about more value for the money. All right. So let's keep going. All right, Mr. Stopwatch Jones, we saw you jumping out of the chair. Let's go and have you answer that question. How can traders identify and navigate with the risks that are associated with social media and the use in trading? You're muted.
I knew that. I was testing y'all. So I have this philosophy, right? And to me, it all comes down to statistics, right? Majority of traders lose, right? So majority of people lose money trading. So what I like to do on social media is whatever I see a majority of people doing, I do the opposite, right? So like you see people always pumping these meme coins, or you see them pumping these random opportunities. If I see more people pumping something, I'm most likely not doing it. And it's, excuse me, it's just because at the end of the day, most people lose money. And if I know that, why would I do what most people are doing, right? So that's kind of how I navigate it. I avoid everything that the majority is doing, even if it's somewhat profitable in the beginning. Long-term wise, it always kind of, it's just like, again, it goes back to trading, right? Like I'll see a lot of people who see me trade. They think that they could do what I do. So they'll create a demo account and they'll go, oh, I took my demo account from 200 to 2000. And you're like, oh, that's great. But then they'll go, same, like 2 minutes later, they'll go, oh, I took it from 2000 to 150. And you're like, yeah, go do what I do, right? Like it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I digress.
Thank you. Let's put some fire emojis in the chat. If who has seen those accounts, right, on social media, right? One day they have $10 in the account, and then the next day there's like 100K, and they took 50 trades. I mean, guys,
It's possible though. It is
possible.
I think so. To touch on that, right? I think it all comes down to what you're trading, how you're trading it, what balance you start off with, right? Like and what your plan is, right? So like if you get on my sessions, then that's one thing I preach all the time. It's you don't need a lot of money to make money. You could easily, if you need more skill and patience than you need anything else, right? And not even, you just need more patience and discipline than you even need skill. You can have an idea as to like, you don't have to master a strategy. You just have to know how it's supposed to work, and then have the patience to wait for the opportunity that you're confident in and go from there. You can grow an account. At least binary wise, you can compound it. I tell the people all the time, you can take $50, start at $3, take 15 trades, and you'll have, depending on the percentage, anywhere between $2,000 to like $8,000, right? So like, it just depends, man, where you start. But Forex is a little different. Right? I personally, I don't really brag much about Forex. I leave that to champs, right? Like I'm not a Forex bragger. I make way less money trading Forex than I do trading binary. So I'll leave that to champs. Like I'm not gonna lie, but binary wise, you can probably do it. I say that.
Yeah, it's possible in binary. That's definitely, I've seen it hands-on, and I've compounded my account as well, but it really does come down to patience and being consistent and really self-discipline, right, guys? Type in some self-disciplines in the chat if you guys are working on that self-discipline, because boy, I'll tell you, you probably sit there and you want to take all the trades, but you got to have that discipline to be able to take the correct, right, guys? Because it's not about quantity, it's about the quality trade that you're taking. All right, you got to be very careful here, right? And these educators, that's what they do on their classes, is to teach you guys, to really help you navigate and start getting that confidence up and having that self-discipline that, hey, if you're only taking 2 trades a day, then you shouldn't be on the computer for like 10 hours, and then 50 trades later, you're in the hole, right? All righty. Nice. So anyways, let's take it over to Champs. And same question, what is your take on social media and how it influences, how can traders identify, right, and navigate the risks that are associated with social media and use in trading?
I think I'm gonna take a different approach since everybody kind of answers so well. One, I learned stopwatch is a skeptic. He believes in nobody. That's good to find out. But I have to be honest. If it wasn't for social media, I'm not on here. I think we all have to kind of admit that the same way. Like I remember, I've been friends with Stopwatch and Ness and all these guys for like damn near a decade. And I remember they called me like, yo, we're doing this thing. And I'm like, hang up. Nope, not having it. Nope, don't want to talk about it. But I'm in New York. They're in Miami. We're in pandemic. I can't go nowhere. And they're constantly on yachts. Like consistently. I mean, like, And I could tell that they weren't like using the same picture over and over again because it was all different times of day, different days of the week, and always in different outfits. Right. And it wasn't that they were on yachts that was like inspiring to me because I didn't care about that. It was the fact that they got to smile. Like I was not smiling being stuck in my house. Right. So if it wasn't for that and use of social media triggered me to want to do this. It made me want to get and figure out, I just want to smile like they're smiling. I don't care about the money. I want to just smile first. Right. Let me get happy first, and then I can worry about making money again, you know? And now once I got involved in it, I did start with binary like everybody else, right? And I enjoyed it. Peter and I was doing compound together and everything, but I did find a way better route with indices and well, Forex in general, or traditional style of trading, I should say, in general, and I like it. The biggest downfall, I think, in social media, thing Z and Peter said it well. Or, sorry, stop calling him Peter. Z and Stopwatch said it very well. It's the clickbait. It is seeing those, I even now when I see people post up like their results or something like that, I'm like, you only took it for 10 points, dude. Like, relax. Like, this is all like crap here. Like, this shows no skill set. You literally hit the right button at the right time and held it for 15 seconds and went in the right direction. There's no skill set in anything that you did. But to Z's point, if you don't know, you will fall for things like this. And that becomes, the dangerous part of social media. So I feel like if you take it and you look at it from a standpoint of how could this influence me? How could this better me? How, example, make me smile again versus how can it make me money? Because I'm not making money, even though you have a job and you are making money, you're just not taking time to have gratitude in what you have coming in. First and foremost, you're busy worried about what's not coming in, which is the wrong way to think about life in general. I think if you use it in that direction, that helps everything, and that eliminates a lot of the BS that you see in social media. I don't know if I can curse now. I curse like a sailor, so I'm trying not to. But that eliminates a lot of the crap that you see on social media. It starts with just gratitude. Like, I don't need to worry about making $100,000 like Stopwatch Jones did if I'm comfortable with making the money I make right now where I am and the extra that I'm making between my investments and everything else. I don't have to be Stopwatch, but I could praise Stopwatch because that's my man. You get what I'm saying? And if we look at it from that standpoint, instead of saying like, well, shit, if he could do it, I could do it too. Let me go set my settings like his. Let me watch a few of his. Let me compound like he did. But you didn't take the losses he took that got him to the point where he is today that he got to 100. He could do that. You didn't take the lessons he took that got him to the point where he is today that he could do that. You didn't take the broken accounts, the busted accounts. You didn't take all those different losses that went along the way that got him to where he could praise and talk about it and let his ego be out loud on social media, as he likes to say, because you want to hear from him the way he can do it today. Then you're not prepared to be Stopwatch. And I think that's what we have to realize, and that's the trigger. We got to learn to develop the skill set before we can start trying to show off our assets in a skill set that we don't have or that's faulty. That's my answer.
That answer was, I'm sorry, I need to say this. That answer was solid. And I'm gonna only say that because I remember when I got started, I used to look at Ness and Maddie and I used to get so frustrated. I used to be like, yo, I need to do something. And it's just like you said, it wasn't until I stopped trying to be Ness or Maddie and I just focused on being Stopwatch that now, before I used to look at them like they were way further, and now I just look at them like competition. Like they it is what it is. I get it. That was a great answer.
I appreciate you. Compliments. I know I'm doing something right with my life. I keep good tonight knowing that.
Oh wait, so for me though, I actually did not get started because of social media. Like, I got started because my brother like literally sent me a Forex screen of like $900, and he just told me like, I can help you. Like, that was it. But I get you for what you're saying. A lot of us are in pursuit of happiness. I see what the next question is, Claudia. So I feel like that's my answer. Is about to go into that.
Okay, perfect. So guys, let's put some smiley faces in this chat because we're going to be smiling, right? We got to get our smile back, right? We got to get our smile back in 2023. Got to get that smile going. Let me see some smiley faces in there. Anybody awake? You guys awake out there? All right, there we go. Let's get with it. Get with the program. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we want to be smiling because all of that takes effect when you're trading. You can't be in front of your computer all frowning, all upset because you you know, you don't have a Whopper with cheese, you only got a I don't know, cheeseburger with no lettuce. Who knows, right? You're missing something, but what you don't understand is that everything's right in front of you. It's just how you decide to take it, right? It's all about how you comprehend and how you decide to interpret things. So we are here today, right, in the Akashex Traders Inner Circle. We're here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is for you guys. This is for you to understand who it is that you're following here in the platform, who these educators are and how their mentality works and thinks. That way you're able to, maybe you never saw Asia and you're like vibing her and you want to get on her class. Well, now it's your opportunity. Now you understand where their mindset is at, because this is all about mindset. Forget the skills. If you played the Simon Says, you're good to go. But this is all about mindset, because I'll tell you this, if they tell you do not get into the trade unless the candle closes and breaks out of that support or resistance, and you don't, right? You go ahead and tap that little button, you go into that trade because you're like, oh, it's in the blue, it's okay, it's gonna go that way. Then guess what happens? Yeah, you big old L, correct? Because it reverses, it goes the opposite way, because you didn't have that mindset nor that discipline, right, to get yourself to wait patiently for that opportunity, because this is all about opportunity and patience. All right, so let's go on to the next question. This is great. I'm so glad everybody's on here. I see all those. I see you, Candy, with all with the little smiley faces. There you go. All right, and we see who's always here. We see who show up, guys. And I'll tell you what, those that show up, they step up. All right, and those are the ones that will continue to be profitable and actually learn the skill set and move into a different caliber, because they are always showing up. They're showing consistency. They're showing up to get information, to be part of that 1%, right? All right, so let's go to the next question. What are some effective strategies, right, for utilizing social media to inform trading decisions and capitalize on market opportunities? We'll start with Asia on this one. Go ahead, Asia.
So for me, some effective strategies that I utilize is that I don't watch everybody, right? When it comes to trading, like especially for binary, I think I only watch 2 people, and that's one is stopwatch, because like if I got a question, we actually like sometimes use the same indicators, so it like, okay, it's cool. And then I watch somebody on YouTube, because I study indicators. So I study indicators personally. That's what I like. I like to just go on like a little binge, just the nerd in me. But when it comes to effective strategies, no one strategy is correct, right? What I use is not what champs do. What champs do is not what stopwatch do. But you know what I mean? What, like, literally the 4 of us have a different strategy. So I think the strategy that works best is like, at the end of the day, if y'all take nothing from me, one thing I'm gonna tell you is awareness, right? And the reason why I say awareness is because you need to know who you are, right? Like, you gotta take inventory on yourself, and that means the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Stopwatch can even tell you, right? I think we had a conversation one time and we were talking about awareness. He asked me a question, and it's like, even though I knew the answer, I never thought of it. It wasn't obvious in my mind. He asked me, he's like, how many trades do you normally like take before you have your first lesson? I'm like, well, nah, bro, I know I could take 4 or 5 easy, like clear them like it's nothing. I'll probably get a little shaky on that 6th one, but I could take it. He's like, nah, I know 5. And when I tell you, like, I was like, oh, what it did was create an awareness, right, for me to stretch my more profitable trading and then take that break before I bounce back to another one. Even though I already knew how to be a profitable trader, it just took it to that 10x. So I say, like, just have some effective strategies and market opportunities is studying what you need to study. So if Champs is big on news in the morning and he's watching CNBC and that's your educator, follow what he's doing and then just make it make sense to you, you know? And if, Stopwatch says he don't watch social media and he's playing Call of Duty and chilling, you know what I mean? And he's not on YouTube, or if he tells you guys about a YouTube, then check it out. But make sure that when you're checking out something on social media, it goes along the lines of what your goal is and what your strategy is. Don't just be out here watching some random stuff and consuming unnecessary nonsense for no reason. Like, I don't follow like a lot of blogs or anything because it doesn't help my goal.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And that's one thing that she did speak about, right, guys? It's all about what you're consuming. If you're going through social media and the consumption is really not going to help you, or what you're watching is not going to really help you in your main goal, then you're just wasting time. Time's wasting. The clock is ticking, tick-tock, right? And then that's when you come around and say, oh, I don't have time. Well, you have time. You have plenty of time. We have all the same time. It's just what you decide to consume and do during that time that you have, that allotted time. Some may sleep longer. Some may watch, Netflix longer. I know that I don't even watch Netflix anymore. I'd rather study the charts and figure out what I'm doing and see what's going on in the world to get myself savvy with real estate and crypto. So, that's what I'm doing over here. But let's go with Mr. Champs. Champs, what are some of the effective strategies that you feel they should be utilizing for social media to inform trading decisions and try to capitalize on that market?
I have to kind of piggyback on Z with this one. One thing is awareness, but more importantly, I don't follow everybody. People always ask me like, yo, who's your favorite educator? I'm like, oh, that's easy, me, And, I don't say that from a standpoint of arrogance. It's just, if I'm going to be if someone's going to be my hero, I'm my hero, But the one thing I realized with social media is that sometimes I think we get confused and we limit ourselves to social media only being Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter. We actually forget that any platform of media that you have an app for is considered social media. So case in point, Z was saying like, if Champs watches CNBC, ironically enough, I get up every morning, I read CNBC, right? I go on the app and I read it every single morning. I know what's going on in the world because I'm trading an indice. I'm literally trading. This is the biggest difference between stocks and Forex to me, is that stocks is based around people's sentiment and their emotions, right? The greed and fear is an emotional factor. If they're fearful, they're going to sell. If they're greedy, they're going to buy, right? So if I'm reading CNBC and CNBC is just giving me an outlook of what's going on in the world around me, the economics around me, it's going to translate into what I should expect to see in the market. And if I match that with price action, and I like to use Fibonacci's a lot, I'll use very little indicators other than just to confirm where I'm going, right? That's what I'm going to use it for. But I'm not going to look at CNBC and then go look at, I don't know, it's not like politics, right? Like you're not looking at CNN and then you go to Fox News and get two different answers, right? You get it all from the same. I look at CNBC and CNBC alone, all right? That's all I look at when it comes to understanding the markets. If I want to understand what's going on with earnings, stuff like that, I have a place I go for that. So I agree with Z, like follow one person, follow 2-3 people that make sense to you, and just master that before you go on and try to follow 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different people, because you get 10 different strategies that are all successful 100%, but you trying to practice all 10 at once only makes you successful 10% of the time. It's much better to take that one strategy and master it 100% or at least 80% before you go on to number 2. And the same thing I think about a business. Like if I open up a business today and I need to run it before I can scale it and hire people, right? I need to understand the entire roles of every single role that's going to be assigned out and given out and dictated. Then I bring people in and dictate those positions. Then I watch it get ran while I'm there efficiently. Then I watch it ran when I can step away efficiently before I go open up another location. That's how I look at trading. Strategy, learning strategies and implementing social media and using social media. Like take the time to understand what it is that you're doing, whether it's a pair, whether it's an indice, whether it's a strategy. Take the time to fully understand the intricacies of it inside and out, that you can fall asleep and you dream about that thing. You know what I mean? Whether it's, like I said, no matter what, once you have it down packed, you understand it. Then if you want to move on to another strategy, something else, or learn something else or add to it, then do it. I think oftentimes social media makes you want things that you feel like you need to have it right away. We keep saying, but you don't. Me personally, if I don't see my trade, I don't take a trade. I think it's very clear to say I probably call the least trade alerts on the platform. The least. Because if I don't see a trade that I personally will take, I'm not calling a trade for the sake of saying, oh, let me call a trade because the cash field is begging for more trades, because it doesn't matter if you're begging for trades if they're losing. And if I'm taking every trade I'm calling, then I want to make sure I give it to you straight like I would take it. So that's my thing with social media, is like, have awareness in it, master one thing, and don't look left or right to stay in tunnel vision.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that information. I'm telling you guys, we're getting lots of information here, lots of nuggets. I'll tell you, who in here has specialized in one strategy? One person, one strategy. Type a 1 in the chat if you are maximizing the benefits to learn that one strategy. I want to see who in here has one. If you're trying to master multiple strategies, type a 2 in the chat. Let me see who's in here, and be honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest, right, then the only person you're lying to is yourself. If you're on the platform and you're following 5 different educators and taking, because the alerts come through, right? Because remember, every educator is a different set of eyes, right? So they're going to see something different, okay? Not necessarily meaning that you got to follow every single one that comes out there. I mean, you'll be all day, every day on taking trades galore, because I mean, we have so many that come out, right? Each individual. What do we have here? Me. Okay. All right. So then everybody on this call today is only mastering one strategy. Is that what everybody's telling me? Because I don't see anyone putting in 2s on there. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I don't know. I don't believe that one. Like I said, if you can't even put it on here and be honest to yourself, the only one you're lying to is yourself. So we're going to keep going, because I don't see not one person putting a 2 on here. So, okay, there you go. Right. Okay. The truth is going to come out. The truth shall set you free. Okay. All right. Like, it's okay if you have more strategies just than one that you're trying to master, but not to even be able to say, own it and step up and say, yeah, I'm mastering more than one. See, that's where the mindset comes in. All right, because all of this has to do with your mindset. So if you're not able to speak up and say, you know what, yes, I'm following 3 educators and I'm mastering 3 accounts, right? Because I'm going to do 3 different statistics and follow it out. If you can't even step up and say that, I bet your account don't look that good either, right? Because how you do one thing is how you do it all. Okay, that means your business, your home, your relationships, all of it. And I'm gonna call it all out right here. Because if you can't be truthful to yourself, you ain't, the only person you're fooling is yourself, because God sees it all, and that's why you're still in the negative. But we're gonna keep going.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I just saw the comments. I think it's Martina. I hope I pronounced it right. It says, I'm new and still looking for it feels great for me to follow and master. I listen, my personal opinion is you can waste a lot of time looking. I don't believe in ready, aim, fire. I believe ready, fire, aim when it comes to this stuff. All right. You need to shoot first, aim, readjust, and continue to shoot. Right now, when I say shoot, you're shooting one bullet, you're not shooting your whole clip. Right. And I think this is where people get confused when it comes to trading. You can start with a $500 account, follow all 3 of us, honestly. Well, no, not me, because I don't do binary anymore, but you could follow Z and Stopwatch and Maddie, for example, right? And you're shooting the entire time. You have no idea what you're doing, but you're following them. But if you take the time to actually listen to what they're doing, you're not running out of bullets because they're practicing risk management the entire time. Spend less time trying to figure out who's good for you and spend more time in executing, and you'll learn who's good for you a lot sooner than later. That's all I want to say. Yeah, no, exactly. That's super important. I mean, we're all being truthful here, right? Because this is what this session is all about. It's about understanding how these professionals, these individuals that are successful in this field, right? And they're helping you to be able to learn a skill set that's going to help you have more freedom.
more time and freedom with your family, right? Because that's the whole purpose here, to put some smiles back in your faces, right? We got to put some smiles in there. So I'm going to go over to Mr. Stopwatch Jones, and I just want to ask you, all right, let's finish it up with here, and then I'll let you guys announce what time and everything that everybody can find you. But what steps can traders make or take, right, to manage their own online presence and mitigate like reputational risks associated with social media use in trading?
All right, so this is a good one. I think that when you take the public, when you tell the public you're a trader, you're gonna, am I muted? Oh no, right. So you're gonna have a whole bunch of people that are gonna be reaching out to you, asking you questions and things of that nature. People are just automatically gonna assume that you just know all the best things to invest in off the back. And what I've learned over the years is, before I was somebody that would throw ideas out there all the time. If I heard something, I was pushing it out there. But what happens is that if you get a bad idea from somebody, you just push it out there, then you're sharing a bad idea, so on and so forth, right? So me personally, it goes back to what Champ said about me. I'm just a natural skeptic. I believe in nobody but myself, right? And so if I didn't come up with the idea, I don't share it. And if I do share it, I stand by it. I can always explain whether the idea went right or wrong. And so I never have a hard time being able to explain why I came up to a conclusion. So it's either I learn or I'm earned. Either way, I'm good, you know? So that's kind of the short overall answer for me.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And that's a great answer. It really is. You got to look at yourself, check yourself, right? That's great. So Asia, how about for you? What steps do you feel that traders can take to manage their own online presence with, the risks associated with social media and trading?
Integrity. Having integrity within yourself, having integrity with what you post, right? You can see, right, who truly has integrity with it, because people are not commenting under their posts like, oh, you are a scammer, you're this, you're that, right? Like, you don't want to overpromise anything or have somebody really just, call you out on your bluff. So just be true to who you are. Because one thing social media is like, as much as like you can see the fake, you can find the real. So in order to mitigate risk on yourself, just be real with you and how you are. Because once you put it out there, it's up to the people to fact check you and stuff like that. So just be careful on what you put out there, and you'll mitigate the risk all within itself.
Thank you so much. And that's very important, right? Because people will start looking to see what you're claiming. All right. And that's why with great wealth comes great responsibility. And sometimes even if you have that 1 million account or 6-figure account and stuff, you might hesitate to share that with everyone out there, right? Because of what may happen. People always tend to, tend to judge or pass judgment, or really start to wonder what it is that you're doing. But then again, here's on the flip side, right? You actually took the steps to learn. You're actually in an educational platform that is helping you learn the skill set that will get you there if you follow accordingly with your risk management, and also learning everything that's coming along. So big kudos to you guys for showing up today. A big kudos for being here and actually taking that step forward. And we're going to continue on. Go ahead, Champs. I see you. Go ahead. Same question.
Both the answers are great, right? I have a different thing. So I am a victim of fake accounts on social media. And when I say victim, I have had people actually get frauded by me, and it wasn't me. So the number one thing I learned is, the minute you begin trading and you start to share your results, that's not a big deal. It didn't get bad for me until I started sharing people's results that I was teaching. That's when people started frauding and making fake accounts and stuff like that. Because, you know, anyone can trade, honestly, but not everyone can teach. And once someone's able to teach, or you're able to do it, that's when your presence really does change, right? Because you go from being the trader to the educator, and everybody's looking for an educator, right? So with that, to Z's point, to Stopwatch point, that's when I really like, I had a lot. I mean, I own restaurants. I don't talk about it on social media. I have a consulting company. I don't talk about it on social media. There's a lot of things that I don't talk about on social media, because if social media allows everyone to have access to me, but only so many people can actually access me, if that makes sense, right? And those that know me will know that about me if you truly had that type of access to me. And those that don't, only gonna know what social media allows you to see. So once you get into this trading space and you really get good at it, and you decide that you want to share your results, stuff like that, I say, you know, use discernment. Use a lot of discernment. Be cautious in what you share and how you share it and what you want to talk about. Like, I remember at some point we used to always argue, like, why can't we show our lifestyle? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? And at that time, it just felt like a good argument to have. But in reality, me as a person, like, I want to own shit and I don't want no one to know what I have. Like, I want you to walk into McDonald's, order Big Mac sauce, and we charge you 69 cents, and it was me that charged it to you, and you had no idea because it said McDonald's, not McDonald's by Champs, right? And I kind of think of that when it comes to social media and trying to show the lifestyle, stuff like that. Like, you know, it's cool that you have the nice cars, you could do this, you could do that, you have the jewelry, you could do all this stuff. But like me personally, I pay child support. I really don't want to give any more money up than I have to. All right. I pay taxes. I don't want the IRS looking for any more money than they're already getting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to call it for what it is. And I love my daughter to death. I also pay for her private school, and that's $60,000 a year. I don't want to pay any more money to anybody than I have to, because I feel like I have to show off to social media to prove something. And I think if we use that aspect in it, it'd be a lot easier to manage your presence online. I don't care to pay $15 for a blue check, but I realize I have to pay for a blue check because there's too many people being scammed by the fake accounts of me. You know, at some point I stopped using social media because I'm like, these accounts is just ridiculous. I don't even, people are blocking the real me now. There's accounts that was full. I remember I was with Stopwatch once. I'm like, yo, I think I'm fake now. Like, that actually is the account. I'm the wrong account. Like, they got that creative. They're that good with it. You know, yeah. So it's crazy. So I know personally that's a headache I don't want to put on nobody. So that's why even now as an educator, I limit what I post and I limit what I share, and I don't share too much, because if I give too much away, it gives too many people fuel to go and fake it again. And I'm soon they're going to figure out how to fake a blue check. So it's only but a matter of time. So with that, I say use discernment, be careful, be cautious, share what you want to share, but everything's not meant for the world to share. Social media is weird that way. You guys like to share what you're eating, which is also weird, but you know, teach its own. I'd rather consume my food in peace and live in the moment of enjoying the food than let the world know I had chicken wings and French fries. But you know, hey, I get it. To everybody, you know, Zaxby's is Zaxby's, but that's me.
Yeah, I want to add something to that, and you know, I agree to everything you just, to everything everybody here said. One of the things that I want to say that I can say now, compared, just like you said before, we used to talk about lifestyle, which is after you get to a certain point and you shared a certain amount of money on the internet, you have to be careful how you walk in the streets. Like, safety purposes wise, like people, you know, we're going around like showing thousands of dollars, and there's people that aren't making that money, and you're constantly telling people where you are, what you're wearing, what you're doing, who you're with, right? I know this from experience. Like,
your flyer tells you where you're gonna be, what time you're gonna be,
everything about you, everything about you, right? So like, the more money you make, you might not, you either might, some people might tone it down, some people might ramp it up. I'm a ramp up guy, right? But it's because I live by a try me philosophy where I wish somebody would, right? But at the same time, like, if you're not that person and you're not willing to take it to that extent, then you're gonna have to change a lot of things about you. You can't go around telling people I made 100,000 today, you know, in a month, and then walk down the street and think that somebody ain't going to check you for that 100,000 when they need $100 to pay a bill, right? So that's one thing I think we all need to take into account is how, if we put ourselves in the internet where we look like we have more than everybody else, when the people that have less than try to take that more, you can't be like, oh, I don't know why it happened. Like, you just told the world you made 100,000, dude. You need to chill. So that's me. I agree 100% with everything else.
Thanks, guys, for sharing. Thank you. Put a smile
That's
on
funny.
our faces, that's for sure. And I agree with you, Champ, with the blue check. Like it's worth paying for it
Yeah,
because it
it is.
really helps. I mean, I don't know anymore, but I know that there was like 10 accounts. I had students calling me saying, "Oh, I sent Bitcoin." I'm like, "You sent Bitcoin?" Like, guys, you know damn well I would never ask you to send me anything. So you guys have to be very careful out there of imposters, of everybody. There's a lot of imposters out there trying to scam you for your money, trying to, get an upper hand on things. So you just have to be very careful and, own it with what you're posting on the internet. Even for me, like I was in Miami this past weekend and I posted something yesterday and I checked myself. I sure did, and that's what discernment comes in. I checked myself. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and take this down because sometimes and some things are not for everybody, and then those who know me, they already know, but those that don't, that's how you're going to keep it, that you don't. So make sure you guys are just going ahead and doing things properly. Make sure that you're tuning in. And guys, let everybody know when they can see you, how they can see you, what times, what days. Asia, you want to go ahead and start it off? That way everyone can find you on Akashex and chime in and type in.
Yeah, so on Tuesdays, y'all can wake up at the bright and early, right? If you are in America at 7
Did I
a.m.
just freeze?
You're good. You can wake up bright and early at 7 a.m. And for the rest of the week, you can find me at 12 p.m. and 11 a.m. Thursday and Friday. So it's coming to get a lot more, but I'm a morning girl, so you can catch me in the mornings all the time.
Okay, so that's Tuesday, 7 a.m. Eastern time?
Yes, Wednesday
And
at
then
12. Wednesday at 12 and Thursday and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
all right, guys, I'm going to put this in the chat. That way you guys have no excuse. All right, Tuesday, 7 a.m., Wednesday, 12 p.m., noon, and then Thursday and Friday, 11 a.m. This is Eastern time. All right, Mr. Champs, how about for you? What time are you on so everyone can get on your calls?
So also you can catch me bright and early in the morning. I like to do things in the morning. I don't like doing anything in the afternoon. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Yep. And then Sundays at 8 p.m. Typically, I only go over indices, but as of lately, we've had a lot of conversations. So I've been introducing a lot more strategies and concepts in trading Forex. So if you're trying to learn to trade, if you're new to trading, I am doing a lot of Forex educational stuff now. On top of still doing US 30 indices. So Tuesday, Thursday, 7 a.m. Eastern, and then Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
All right, those are great hours. So he's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 a.m. Eastern time, and then on Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you guys should have your notepad out, right? Your calendar, right? And you should be putting this in so you have an alert. That way your alert will go off at least an hour prior to get you ready, right? So you can stop what you're doing and start getting yourself mentally prepared to get onto the class and learn some information. And how about for you, Mr. Jones?
I am live Mondays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time and Tuesday and Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
You said Tuesdays and Wednesdays?
Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, so he's on Mondays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Eastern time, then Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So you have, listen, there's a little bit of everything for everybody. Look at the times. You're either morning or evening or midday. You can still hop on, you can still get on a session. You can really maximize everything that you are, you're putting yourself through here with Akashex. Like the entire point of all of this is so you have success in whatever demeanor you may think that is, right? Whatever you may think success is. But I just want to say that you're successful in my eyes because you got on this call today. You took the time to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get more information, get some more knowledge that's going to help me proceed and continue on. And this is all possible, right, through MDC. Okay, so we are all lucky and blessed and grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Go ahead, champs. Yeah,
I will say this, Z and Stopwatch, shout out to them, binary educators. You come on my sessions, I do not do live trading. My sessions are purely educational, and I think this is important to put out there. My sessions are purely educational. Every now and then, there might actually be a live trade call, only because whatever education I'm teaching is suggesting it in that moment. But all my sessions are purely educational. I think that's important to put out there, because a lot of times people log on to sessions expecting to take live trades. Shout out to Z and Stopwatch. They make that happen for you. I'm here to teach you so that you can do it by yourself. You go to Z and Stopwatch and they will feed you while you learn. All right.
Perfect. And like he said, you see, all of this is different information, right? Different access, which will make you a well-rounded trader, and you're able to learn different skills. Well, same skill, but different forms of being able to get on the market and everything. So, you know, you have to build that foundation, and then guess what? You can earn while you're learning. All right. So kudos to you guys. And I just want to say thank you. Let's put some fire emojis, say thank you for our educators that they took the time to get on here today and share the valuable information and really put it out there for everyone. So you guys are able to hop on their sessions, make sure you stay active. Okay. And then, all right, we're going to end today's call, and then I will see you guys next week, Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I'll see you then. See you at the top. Bottom's too crowded. Peace.